Okay, so let's start with the presentation. We prepared this because it looks pretty, so everything with the topic. So the rules first, and this is a book club that is English flexible, which means that we try to use English, but if you need to use Spanish, well, it's okay. Like, you can start by saying, well, I like the book because, y luego agregan detalles en español. If you
Just
need
like
to,
that.
you try. You have to try. That is the idea. Everyone's opinion counts. There is no right or wrong answers. This book has so many things that even if it's wrong, we don't know.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Hannah Montana. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has to stay.
Yeah, exactly. You remember Hannah Montana if you're scared of speaking. And of course, the library must be left clean and ready for the next activity because we have a lot of activities in here. So that is the rules. Those are the rules. Well, the first activity, introduce yourself because we don't know each other. So you have to say your name, your level in English to know, out of curiosity, and your favorite book. Any book, could be this one, could be another book. So we can start, you can start.
Okay, yeah, that was. I volunteered.
Yeah.
Well, hello guys, my name is Ricardo Agrasso. What is my level in English? Do you know?
He speaks very well.
Yeah, what she said. And my favorite book is called Sylvia in Spanish, but the actual name in English is Slide Away. It's a person that suffers from an illness. It's fiction, but when she sleeps, she goes to the mind to another person. So it's like a drama of her knowing
Okay.
secrets and stuff. And I love gossip, so it kind of fit in.
Okay, well, my name is Diana. We are both from Education USA. We can talk about that later, but you can see it in there, Education USA. And my level in English, according to the last test, was C1, so good for me. And my favorite book is Selfish Gene. I think that is the name in English, El Gen Egoísta, which is a book about biology. But it's very interesting.
Okay.
It's very cool. I love that book. It's my book. It's my favorite book. So, and now
But
it's
you
your
could
turn.
pick a novel, something we know.
It's my favorite.
I don't know, El Psicoanalista, something.
Okay. So, what about you? So he can stop judging me. So, who wants to start?
I don't know that book.
Yeah.
But
See?
I explain it to you. That's different.
You want to that she explained biology right now.
See?
No.
See? Thank you, Maria.
I'm still good, thank you.
Okay.
We
so
can start with you.
Yes,
Okay.
you're in the front line. So.
Hello, my name is Graciela. I am B1 level.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
Very demure, very mindful.
please don't judge. And well, I have a lot of favorite books. I love Harry Potter. Saga.
Okay.
And
Great.
I think my favorite book is Las mujeres que aman demasiado. It's
I have heard of that one. Yeah, me too.
Included in the list.
Yeah. Taking notes.
Yeah, taking notes. Okay, thank you, Graciela.
Well, hello, my name is Diana. I think that my last exam I was in C1. Level
Okay.
C1. Well, my favorite book is The Hunger Games.
Okay.
I love that saga. It was the first book I read when I was a child. So, well, that's the
Okay. I like your name.
yeah.
Diana,
I
Diana.
too.
Okay.
It's very cute, yes. Okay.
Not for me, but okay.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. My level in English is in level 19 of here in the CBA. I really don't think I have a favorite book because I remember ever finishing one
Okay.
because I finished it in school
The nerve.
Okay.
into one in my mind.
Okay.
But you speak very well.
But did you
congrats.
like this one? Did you like this book?
I haven't read this book.
Okay, good. Great.
I have also many thoughts.
Okay.
Hi, Maria Teresa. My level in English is C1, maybe.
Maybe.
It's the maybe for me, that's the key word.
My favorite book is Ender's Game. There are a whole saga and a movie about the first book. So I write it in the recommendation.
Oh, good.
Yes. Well, that's it.
Okay, great.
Thank
Excellent,
you.
Maria Teresa. Okay. Yes?
My name is Simon. I don't know what my level in English is.
Okay.
Okay.
I assume it's okay.
Okay, you're flowing with English. It's okay.
My favorite book, I like Harry Potter ones, but my favorite would be the second one, Chamber of Secrets.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
The
Yeah.
second book. Great. Okay, over there, behind you.
Yeah, we see you. Don't try to hide.
My name is Maria Esteves. My level in English in writing is B2, but my level in speaking is B1.
Okay.
My
She's
favorite
humble.
book is Return of the King.
Okay.
The Ring.
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
I've always wanted to read a book with a movie because it sounds interesting. Okay.
We have a person right there. Yes, you.
Well, I want to say all of you thank you, especially for the information you say. I don't have idea what is in my English level. I go here at CBA as a cultural director, and I love the idea. It was a great idea. Congratulations, and I hope we can do it every month, at least one a month. It's a
Hopefully.
very good
Hopefully we
idea.
will.
I love reading. Maybe Jane Austen.
Okay.
Jane Austen, yes.
Jane Austen. Okay.
I love many writers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good.
That was
He was
awesome.
talking about those books a moment ago. Okay.
Well, thank you to come here. I think this was going to be a wonderful meeting, conversation, meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Liliana.
Okay.
Okay, we can continue with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jesus Martinez, and I'm 25 years old. I took the TOEFL this year.
How did it go?
Yeah, in February.
Okay.
According to the results, I am C1. I've read a lot of books. It's like a hobby to me. But I would say that my favorite one is 1984.
Wow, that's deep. Do you go to a therapy? Do you go? Do you go? Be honest. We can. Yeah, this is a safe place.
Okay.
In case you don't know this book, it's about a dystopia in a country in which you have like a dictatorship. And
It's kind of like Venezuela if you think about it.
yeah, it's a well-known book, and I love it. I like this kind of books about dystopias.
Okay.
That's
This is
awesome.
none of my business, but how did you go? How did you do with the TOEFL? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I got 90.
Okay, great.
Good.
Very good.
Good.
Excellent.
We can talk about it more later.
Okay. Yes.
He was like, I
What
don't know.
time
You tell
is
me.
it?
Yeah.
My name is Carlos Ponce. You can just call me Ponce. According to the CBA, I'm C1 in English. And my favorite book, I can't choose just one right now. I could say that my top three are Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky by
Okay, very good.
Hi, I'm Valentina, and I don't know what is my level in English, but I think it is B1, basic.
I think. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
You're looking at her like she knows the answer. I can tell you right here, right now, she doesn't.
Okay.
You're welcome.
My favorite book is Las Crónicas del Spider. It's a saga.
Wow. I'm old. I remember that.
Like you like a memory.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was completely locked in my head and now it's unlocked and I cannot unsee it. Why?
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
A little bit louder so the people from the live streaming can hear you. Okay? So if you can raise a little bit
Okay.
louder.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Valentina, for that memory. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Tony. My level English is till the moment B1. And I don't have favorite book, but I like so much Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay. Great.
Hi, my
Hi.
name is.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Ah?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Maria Leon. I don't know what is my level in English. I want to believe that we won, but I don't know. And I have a lot of favorite books.
Yeah, make it you're gonna go.
Hard to me like just one. My first favorite book was Dragoon. It's from a Venezuelan writer, and I
Okay.
had to read it to in high school.
Mhm.
But before,
Mhm.
after, I don't know, I read Frankenstein of Mary Shelley, and now in this moment, this is my favorite book because I
Okay.
enjoy a lot reading. I didn't expect it. That.
Okay, great.
And I was a gift to my mom, by my mom.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that is a great book. We were thinking about it, but we thought it was a little bit difficult to read in English because that book has over 100 years. So we were like, is it easy to read? I don't know. So, okay, now that we know each other, hopefully I'm trying to remember all of the names. Let's go back to the presentation so we can talk a little bit about the book. So, the first question is this one. Was it easy to read? Did you learn some new vocabulary? What did you think of this book? Like, easy peasy or whoa?
Well, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I listened to a shortened version of the book.
Ah, okay.
At first, it was really easy,
Okay.
but then I noticed
Mhm.
that that version skipped some of the planets Little Prince visited.
Ah, okay.
So I was like,
This is
I should go
incomplete.
whole,
Something
book.
is missing.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
but
then-
you listen to the audiobook.
Yes.
Did you listen to the one that we have in the library?
No, I
Another
listened
one.
to another one.
Ah, okay.
Then I decided to go
Uh-huh.
for the complete book, the complete
Okay.
version. And in that version, I found a lot of new vocabulary.
Yes.
For sure.
We have many versions in English because the original book is not in English, so I read the version in PDF and it was different from the one they have in here. But did anyone hear the audiobook?
Yeah.
Okay. That is something new, but everyone, I'm always telling them that the audiobook we have in here is by Richard Gere, and everyone is like, yes, yes, I wanted to listen to that. So,
She fell asleep.
yes, because the book is very relaxing. In my opinion, if you listen to the book, it's like very relaxing. What about the rest? Did you find it difficult? Did you learn some new words?
Yeah.
What words?
For me was very difficult.
Very
Because
difficult.
I am not
Used to.
acostumbrada.
Used to.
You're not used to reading.
Read in English, and for me it was a shock. And
Okay.
that man passed me a PDF that
It
had
was more difficult.
very difficult words, like 2 lines. And what's this? I don't understand.
You're also very welcome.
But the book in the library is so smooth.
It's
easier.
smoother.
Easy
Yeah.
to read.
It's friendlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you learn something new.
And in the middle of the book, I it's come to more easy and
Okay.
I
Okay, it got easier and easier. Okay, excellent. What about you? Do you remember a word that you had to Google because what word?
I don't know if clothes,
Ah, okay.
because that's a word that I never use.
We never talk about cloth. Okay.
I remember another word that was really thorns, like in the rose.
Ah,
Okay,
the
okay.
thorns. Ah, yes.
Okay.
I
good.
was interested by the word baobabs. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I was like with Richard Gere, like, how? No, rewind. How? Because I didn't know that word, baobabs, and I don't know what is the word in Spanish actually. Do you know?
Bawa.
How?
Bawa.
Bawa. Ah, okay.
Like
It's
they pronounce it in Spanish.
ah, okay. But I love that. There any other word that you remember that got your attention?
In my case, was just a very, very short word because it is thus, like THUS. And I
Thus.
have
Okay.
seen that word many, many times while reading and never understood the use of that word actually until I read this book. And as she said, like the version in the Libby library is very friendly to read. It was completely easy to read, and I have read The Little Prince many times.
Why do you continue to look at me like that?
In case
Mm.
Ah, okay.
Ah, okay.
Awesome.
You can have it very close.
better so everyone can listen. Gracias.
Okay. Well,
No
one
pressure,
side to
though.
the other side.
You're not going to use it.
Okay. I put the words that I didn't know because just in case you didn't know them either. The word tippler, did you know it before? Yeah? Well, the drunkard, it's the person who drinks a lot. Never heard of that. Alas, I put the word in here, the sentence, and I don't remember the meaning. What is the meaning? Do you know? Of alas?
Alas, is when people are trying to express grief, they say
Okay.
like alas, like I.
Ah,
Something like that.
okay.
It's
Well,
more
that
an
is a new
expression
word.
than a word.
Okay, something interesting I found about this book is that I was reading, and for some reason, I heard the voice of the Little Prince in my head like a British person. Did that happen? No? No, just me. Okay, next one. I don't know why.
Like a little boy, like
Yes,
some my
a little British boy.
But how like
like a children.
Yes, maybe because he was French. I don't know.
was it something like can you draw me a sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. You can hire me. Carly,
Okay.
so you can pass it on.
Okay, wait.
Thank you. Otherwise, it's going to stay here in the table. So.
Okay, so
Diana,
this book is very, very famous. I have
Diana, it's me, Rosa Galeano. How are you?
Ah, oh wow! Wow! Oh my God!
Yes,
You're
from outer
here in the room with
space.
us.
From outer space. Now, I just wanted to share with you guys that we have 2 comments from our online viewers. So if you can read them and perhaps comment them and let them
Okay,
know
is-
that we
Are
are.
you going to project them in the screen?
Yes, in a minute.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Yes, a relaxing and cute reading. Yes, I totally agree with you. It is actually perfect for sleeping. If you have trouble sleeping, you can listen to Richard Gere like 10 minutes and that's it.
You know, the intention of the booklet is for help them to study, you know?
Well, I don't know if it works, but some people say that they listen to something while they are sleeping and unconsciously they are learning new things. See? Okay.
And Jose Feli, interesting.
Okay. Great.
Okay, so thank you to Jose Felix and Nebraska for their comments, and keep them coming.
Keep telling us your opinions.
Yes.
So, this book is very, very famous, and everyone was very excited about this one. Why do you think this book has influenced so many people and so many generations around the world? Because this book is kind of old. Why?
Okay.
I still don't understand why.
Okay.
I think
Maria
it's a
Teresa.
book that can be read by adults and kids, and both will understand the book in a different perspective. So I think that is cool, and their words very powerful, and it's beautiful. It's like relaxing.
Okay.
But not
Excellent.
for sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that is why you can come to the front row.
Yeah. It's only us.
Yes. We don't bite people.
No, I feel safe.
She feels safe. Okay.
In my opinion, the Little Prince has influenced the entire world because the author Antoine de Saint-Exupery,
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
he um, kind of like he wanted to make a critic
Okay.
to adults or grown-ups,
Okay.
and maybe that's common nowadays, but at that time I think it wasn't so common.
Mm.
I also find interesting that I find interesting such ideas coming from such a serious man, because he flew.
Yeah.
He was a pilot, military pilot. So it's kind of sweet see
Yes.
those kind of stories coming from such a
It is
serious man.
strange. I agree with you. You know, I saw the picture of the author and I was like, did he
Yeah.
write this? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it. Like, before, maybe not so much, but nowadays we question everything. But back then, thinking, like, am I a grown up? Like, am I doing this? Maybe people were not thinking so much about that. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it even has transcend during the period of time, because as I never thought about it either. Like when you said it was harder before when he wrote that, but at the same time nowadays it keeps having an impact on young people, on adults, on families. And they say, I have heard a lot of people, even Carlos said it today, that whenever you read it again, it has a different meaning to you. I don't know. I just only read it once. Maybe
When
I'm
you read it again, you tell
maybe
me.
I'm broke. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm broken. I don't know.
Well, in my opinion, it has a very important meaning in society, like back then and now still, because it let us be aware of how we forget that we were children too. And it's important to not forget that we can also like have fun or not to think in serious things just because we're adults. And it's something that the book wants to show. And also the fact that the Little Prince was just a kid, but he did important things in his planet, like taking care of the volcanoes, the baobabs, and the flower and everything. And he questioned everything the grown-ups did. And as Ricardo said, I told him that I have read this book many times during my life. I started when I was a kid, and now I'm a young adult. And every time I read it, I see something new about the book, something that I didn't catch before, because my perspective is different, because I'm growing up. So I have different points of view. But it's something that I always try to read it every now and then to remember that I can still be like that, even if I'm still growing up. So for me, it is a very important book.
Okay, great. Someone else?
So am I
Maria.
broken?
I feel very bad right now because this is a book that I read when I was a child. I didn't understand the book, and I read it again now as an adult, and I didn't understand the book.
Okay.
I feel the same way that when I read it when I was a child, and I need to search in the internet like the meaning of the book, because for me, I understand that do you
You can use Spanish, girl.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
she's doing well. She's doing well.
Wait. I read the book and I don't understand the meaning of the entire book. I understand the little
The little
reflections
pieces.
in the book, but the entire book is so confusing for me. It's like I don't understand why the writer write the book like that. Because for me it's so confusing. I read it like 3 times. I don't understand the book, and I need to search the meaning to okay, this is he's saying when he write this. But
Okay.
me, like alone, I didn't get to that point.
Okay, so you are here because you have questions.
Yeah.
She has questions.
I need an explanation of the book.
Okay. That is good. Now that you mention it, yeah, I do understand the little reflections, but the whole book never thought
Well,
about it.
Diana actually spent like 3 days asking me, so he dead? Is he dead? And I was like, did you finish the book? No. Okay, continue reading, thank you. Then the next day, I still don't know. Is he dead? Did you finish? No. Continue.
Yes. It took a week for me to read the whole book because I'm very slow. I read and I think and then I keep reading. So.
And then on the last day, she was, so he dead.
I use better grammar than that. Okay.
Well, this is my first time reading this book. As many of the classmates here, I didn't read this book when I was a child, but I'm pretty sure if I was a child, this book would have a different meaning to me. Right now, I agree with that idea that this book is designed for children and for grown-ups, because if you are a child, you can read it like a normal fairy tale or any book. But as I am a young adult, I can see that this book is written in a very simple and plain, vocabulary. But in the end, it has like a profound meaning because the main character is a kid, but he's like in an adultish world. He goes planet by planet, like meeting characters like the drinker, the king, and they are adults. They have like their own prejudices. They have like a different perspective of the world that he, as a child, doesn't understand. And it's like he says, I remember in the book, he says like, oh, grown-ups are really, really weird all the time. So it's like the difference between the world of the children and the world of the adults, and how you have different perspectives according to, if you are an adult or if you are a kid.
Yeah, I love that when the little prince is actually visiting the planets, he goes and asks the adults like, hey, what are you doing? And they will say something like, I'm working. The little prince will be like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you are not. It will make sense, actually.
Yes.
Well, for me, it makes me feel like a child again, because it's reconnected with my dreams. the dreams I used to have, and that's something that I love so much because everybody loved of his draw because that's a hat, and he's like,
It's
no,
not a
it's
hat.
not a hat. And the little prince could watch or could see what he saw in this time, and it was like sometimes, like as a grown up, we can hurt a child dream, and we didn't know, and we can reconnect with them, with our child dreams, and that's true. Not because we are grown-ups, we cannot laugh, we cannot be relaxed, or a lot of things, and that's something that connects a lot with me because I'm trying to be a grown-up, and it's hard to.
It's a
grow up.
process.
And it's a process, and it's like there are a lot of things I have to do that I
Yeah.
didn't do when I was a child because I play and I don't know.
You didn't care.
And even the child can teach us things. Not because it's a child, it means that they didn't know anything.
Yeah, like having that innocence. Oh my god, this book club is getting deep.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the next question.
Let's go to the next question.
Because, yes. Yeah, let's go to the next question in the presentation. But we were talking about that like 30 minutes ago, that when you're a kid, nobody pays attention to you and takes you seriously. But actually, they have a different perspective of things, and there's no bias. They can see things as they are. So, let's go. Ah, well, this. I think we kind of know the answer because we've been talking. Did you read The Little Prince before? Like when you were a kid? Okay.
First time.
Okay.
Okay. She wants to
Yes. Yeah, the physical version. Yeah. He read it, she didn't understood.
Yeah.
I read it
I
and
read that
either.
many times.
Okay.
But we need to know about that Anton, about the writer, because the writer wrote when they was in a deep depression in
Okay.
New York, at the United States, yeah. And the war, the second war, it was in the worst moment in the world. That's a reason that he remembered to change the mind of the people. They need to change the mind of the people about the world because in that moment the German have the most important glory of the world, yeah? And the alliance, and if I remember, the alliance, the many countries of alliance have many problems with in the world, in that world, and they need to change the perspective of the people because they wrote in the 1943 and the war was in the
Yeah.
World War. If we reflect about that, we understand that the child, they need to remember about special moments, about the flowers, about the symbol of the life of the our every people in the life. They need to feel the most simple of the
Life.
things in the life.
Okay.
That's a reason, but he described many kind of the words because if we think about of different points of view of different perspective of the careers, many people have many points of view about when they have his careers or their careers. And he reflects many words about that because the king have an special
Yeah.
special
Roll.
role, and the countable have a special role. That's a point of view that they point in that book.
Okay. Now we can understand a little bit more the intention of the author. You're getting some answers.
She's grateful.
Yeah, you cannot complain.
Okay. We have this question also. Well, symbols and metaphors are present through The Little Prince, and as Maria said, sometimes it's very hard to understand them at once. But why do you think Saint Exupery chose to tell this story in such figurative language? Why
Yeah.
not just say it as it is?
Because the moment.
Why you have to go and make
Okay,
things
now
so
that we have that
complicated?
contest, now that we have that perspective, I think it actually makes sense. Because maybe he wasn't allowed to actually say what he was thinking in a clear way, like this is what happening, like please help, mercy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think he wrote The Little Prince in such an enigmatic way because he wanted he wanted the book to be enjoyed by kids as much as by adults.
Yeah, that too.
One interesting fact is that I think you all know he drew all of the pictures on his book, but there are some that didn't appear in the final book. And one
They
of-
did the homework.
Yes.
and one of and,
I'm proud.
one of them was a picture of the pilot, the narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But he decided, in the end, not to show the what the narrator looked like, because that would have made the story
Literal.
simpler.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he wanted to keep the
Mhm.
fantasy and the real
Okay.
world apart,
Okay.
because
That's good.
he was also he was taking care that his book he wanted his book to
Mhm.
receive good critics
Mhm.
from I mean writers, actual writers.
Committee writer.
Exactly.
Okay.
If he just if he would have wanted just to make a simpler tale fairy book for a child, maybe
It wouldn't be The Little
it would
Prince.
have been more simpler and
Okay.
straightforward. But he wanted to receive attention from the adult critic as well.
Okay.
That's
It
good.
makes sense by how simple the drawings were. I was telling them just a few moments ago that my favorite drawing was the last one. Like, just for you to know exactly where the planet is right here. I'm gonna draw it exactly as it is, and it's just a couple of lines and a star. And I love that. It was. Is this a joke? But it was pretty cool.
Well, as of my understanding of the book, I think the author maybe used this kind of narrative because he wanted to make like a satirical view of the situation. I mean, like taking into account your information about the time. I
Yeah,
think-
that was good. Thank
yeah,
you. That was very good.
As I said before, he in the book he's always like making a critique to the grown-ups. You know, like they are weird, They are complicated people, you know, not like all us kids, like are simpler, like are happy, and you know, grown-ups are like complicated people. So maybe in that way you are like making a critique to the people in that moment that are like in a war. You know, you are killing yourself and is no reason for that. It's like a war that hasn't, you know, like a good ending or a good motivation. Maybe in that way Antoine is like making a satirical view of this situation that has no sense. It could be like a interpretation of this kind of narrative that he's using.
Yeah, sometimes I felt like he was mocking grown-ups, and that was fun. Sometimes we need humor to see, yes, I'm this ridiculous sometimes.
Exactly, and adding more information to that, I think that according to the historical background that I didn't know that, it's really, how can I say that? It's really acceptable that it was written like this because you cannot make a critic to grown-ups like being too direct because you will receive views because people will perceive themselves like the people that he's attacking. So you cannot be too direct with that. And I think the constant using of metaphors is more because the book is really subjective. Like everyone has a different point of view, and I think that it was kind of the fun of that book. Like everyone can have a different perspective of what did they understand by reading the book. As I say, if you're a kid, you will see some things. If you're an adult, you will see other things. If you're a teenager, you will see other things. But everyone will still have a different opinion, a different point of view. Some people love it, some people hate it. But that's the point, to have an opinion. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How you receive that information. But as I said before, you cannot say directly, like too direct, like grown-ups are weird, grown-ups forget their dreams.
They say they work, but they do not.
But you cannot be too, like too, how can I say it? Like too rude, too harsh with the people because they will feel attacked. But it's something that he is really, really aware of, and always say in the book is that kids are the only ones who know what they really want.
Yes. Well, talking about that is a great quote of the book. The next question is about the quote.
Yeah, Rosa, could you help us with the presentation, please?
I think that kind of language helps the book to age like wine because they have a lot of time and we can understand the words and all the things that they say in the book. So I think that's important because it's like if you read another thing of a lot of years ago, it's like what you can understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Maybe he also wanted us to read his book multiple times. Yeah.
Do you think it was intentional?
Maybe.
Okay. Wow.
But it's kind of like a gift for us. Because it's good to know that we have a book out there that even though we read already,
you can always come back to it. Yeah.
Again, as if it were the first time. So that makes me really glad.
We did the question and we never wondered about that.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I have to read it again because I've read it 2 times, but the first time it's not like I didn't understand. I just didn't. I just don't remember a thing. I just remember the snake with the elephant, and that's it. The rest of the book, just I don't know. I deleted it accidentally.
The second time you fell asleep.
No, the second time I read it.
But the thing I don't want to read it again.
She's like, no, I'm getting my answer and it's it.
I read it again because this activity, but I don't really want to read again this book.
Wow.
Thank you so much for your honesty.
I don't enjoy to read this book. For me, it's like, okay, I need to search some meaning for this
but I don't enjoy reading book because
Maybe you can wait them.
Maybe
You
you
can
can
wait
wait.
10 more years and see. I don't know.
She's, she's in denial. She doesn't want to try.
book that I can read.
Well, yes.
That I can give my fee.
Yeah. But the audiobook is 46 minutes. So. The audiobook is 46 minutes. It's very short. So I don't
It's
know.
less than an
maybe.
hour.
Maybe someday in the future. Let's talk about these 10 years in the future.
It's for,
It's
yeah.
very fast. But yeah, they skipped some parts.
Yeah.
They actually did. They kept the important things and I really liked it, but they skipped some parts. So I just
Okay.
wanted to try it. Let's see the next one because I think you will like this one. Okay.
Rota, can you put the presentation, please?
The next question. Okay, I'm gonna ask. I have it in here, just in case. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What quote of the book caught you? If there is there any quote that you remember, anything you read that made you change your point of view about something?
Can
We
I
have
share
an
mine?
example. Yeah, we have
This
an
is mine.
example. So maybe you have the same one. I don't know. You can read it because I don't think they will read it.
Okay, this is my favorite quote that it says, "Of course I'll hold you. Of course you'll hold me. Of course we will hurt each other, but this is very condition of existence. To become spring means to accepting the risk of winter, and to become present means accepting the risk of absence."
Yeah, he liked a very long quote.
Yeah. And with the drawings, you can see the little prince right there.
Yes, he did his homework too. Huh? Yes, I haven't seen it. I
There's so many
haven't
movies
seen
and
it.
series and shows and
Have you seen it?
there's a lot of versions of that movie.
That version was made by the same animator that made Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
He did his homework.
Yeah. But I have to be honest, I don't like Kung Fu Panda.
Remember I told you that there's a movie that they tell the next it's up.
Yes, I have. Have you seen this movie? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay. We have to make a movie club then. Let's talk about that later. And we can see the movie together. So.
Well, talking about quotes, I have too many quotes of this movie.
He
Okay.
also did his homework.
But I can pick like my favorite ones. The first one would be, "It is much more difficult to judge oneself than to judge others. If you just succeed to judge yourself well, you are a truly wise man."
Okay.
For me, it was really,
Oh my
really
god, the
deep.
book club is getting deeper. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you all go to a therapist because you will need it afterwards.
I know I need a therapist. Is it that one?
Okay. You like this one?
Yes.
It's a good one.
Yes, yes, it is a good one. I
It has
really
the
like
fox
what
and
the
everything.
fox said. Yes.
Oh, this is like complimenting the one, like about to tend someone. He's talking to
Yeah.
the roses, and he says that you are beautiful, but you are empty. He also told them, "Nobody can die for you." Of course, concerning my rose, an ordinary passerby would believe that it looks like you, but only it is more important than you all, because it is the one I watered, because it is the one I put under a case, because it is the one I have sheltered with the screen, because it is the one whose caterpillars I have killed, because it is the one I have listened to complain or boast or even shut up sometimes, because this is my rose.
Okay.
That was so
I
inspiring.
like that.
He
But
was like,
when I
yes.
got to that part, I was thinking, like getting in the book, like the other roses wouldn't feel like sad if they were told that, like, you're pretty, but you're kind of empty. Like no one cares about you, poor you. That was what I thought.
But it's also a good reflection on how we people tend to put the importance on what we care about. If I care about, I don't know, singing, then it will matter a lot to me more
It
than
will
it
be-
may matter to you, because
Yeah.
it's what I enjoy. Because
I decide
it's
what
about
is
me,
important.
not about you. Yeah.
Because the owner is talk about responsibility of
one. About
Yes.
property, you have all your own responsibility, and
Yeah.
the roles is there if you don't have any responsibility.
Yes. He explains that with the businessman, like, what favor are you doing to the stars that you own? That you owe them, and then what? So.
Also, when the little prince went to the earth for the first time and he saw this man that was controlling the trains and everything, and he saw a train, and the little prince asked him, were they happy where they were because they're taking a train? And he answers, we are never happy where we are. And that's when they after said that only kids know what they want because they're the only ones that are happy. And I think it's really it's deeper. The book is deeper than people
Yeah,
think.
but they tell you the
There's
problem.
coffee over there.
But I feel like they tell you the problem, but not the solution. Like, I don't know what I want. What do I do?
What do I do?
They don't tell you. They're just okay. Okay, someone else
he wants to-
remembers. Yeah, our quiet friend. What's your name?
What's your name?
Alvaro. Nice to meet you, Alvaro.
All right. I remember so much quote, but I just remember one. Say when they get to the planet and say, what do you do? Drinking. And drinking for what? Chain. For chain what? Drinking. Yeah, say. It's a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle. It's endless.
What do you have to drinking? For what? For a chain. For a chain what? Drinking.
Yeah.
It's a circle. It's a
Yeah.
circle.
Sometimes.
I remember so many, but that's point quite interesting because it's a purpose.
Yeah, it makes you think, am I in some kind of circle? Yes.
That's actually the most quoted of all time. You can be on Instagram and there's a person with a selfie like
The
what is
invisible.
actually
Yeah, selfie, the invisible is. The,
And
This
also
next-
use my coupon for Temu. Thank you.
okay.
I think it's time for me to talk about my favorite part. I see this book a lot about loss. Uh, I like to think of it its main message is about how to handle loss.
Okay.
In a certain way, the little prince, he indirectly tell us that you can put meaning into things that don't have
That
an
otherwise
obvious meaning
would be meaningless.
until the moment you put it into what you want that meaning to be.
Yeah.
It's for example when at the beginning of the book when the little prince asked the pilot to draw a
Sheep.
gauge,
Ah.
well, a sheep, but then the pilot drew a cage and little prince was like, oh, this is what I wanted, this is perfect. And I was really confused because I didn't understand why little prince
Because you were a
wanted
grown
a
up.
cage. Yeah, because well, it wasn't until the end of the book that I really understood that Little Prince sees meaning in things that apparently don't have it. Because when he when the little prince sees an object, for example, that makes him
love that. I think,
Yeah.
and sorry that I interrupt you. I think it's actually because maybe as we grow older, we tend to be so caught up in the routine that we forget the smallest things. You know, like the first brew of coffee, the sunset, the I don't know, the first talk, the first sticker, whatever. But like even there is always a first time for everything. But maybe we just don't consider it because we are like so caught up in what we want to accomplish rather than just to be present. And the little prince is like, yeah, this is what I'm asking for right now. This is what I need right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, my favorite part is when the little prince and the pilot um okay, it's when the pilot goes see the little prince off.
okay.
The little prince tells him uh, that hey, don't be sad. This is gonna look like I'm gonna die, but it isn't like that. Just you just looking at the stars, you can think that somewhere uh, somewhere up there um, I am living on my planet, you know,
Yes.
and the sky, the um, the night sky will never look the same to you.
Yeah.
It will have a different meaning for you
Yeah.
from now on.
That part was very
And
cool.
the little prince went on and said, and now when I drink uh,
Water.
a bucket of water, I will think of you and the trouble we made along the desert.
Yeah.
She's like crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something So
I never
sweet.
thought
Yeah,
of that.
she
but-
will be like drinking water, like.
Why
did you go? Why?
But he's right. I never thought of that. But the book is a lot about loss because
About love.
About handle
He-
grief. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
because
I
he
like to
leaves
see
the
the book
rose and he has
that
to
way.
say goodbye of the fox and then he leaves. So there are many parts of the book that are kind of sad, but he kind of say why
Maybe
it's not
that's-
so sad.
Maybe that's like the metaphor he wanted to apply for us knowing that people pass away. And we have to learn.
And not
And
only
handle
that,
that.
sometimes you have to leave and leave them. Maybe alive, but leave them. So
You have no heart.
okay.
It was being also poetic over here, and then like you have to leave, so you just left. Okay, thank you.
Well, you cannot be everywhere. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot be with anybody, with everybody at the same time. So
It's about actually what you said about learning to say goodbyes.
yes,
It's like learning to handle with things and with persons that have to go in different
Yes.
ways.
learning to let go in many ways. And be okay with that.
She's
Being
looking for my
okay with
confirmation.
that.
She's like,
Okay.
Well, one of my favorite parts of the book was when the little prince met the king. I think this opinion is a little bit cynical from me, but the character of the king was very hilarious because I think he's, in my opinion, you know, he's like hiding that he doesn't have any power. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
all the planets, all the people,
The-
I reign over all of that.
The
And
stars,
he
the
has-
sunset,
stars, the
everything.
planet, and inside of him, he knows that he doesn't have any power. And from that part, from that chapter, I extracted the quote.
Mhm.
I think it has it made a lot of sense to me, but as I said before, it's like he's admitting that he doesn't have the power. The little prince asked him, "I would like to see a sunset. Do me a favor, order the sun to lie down." And he said, If I order a general to fly from one flower to another like a butterfly, or write a tragedy, or to change into seabird, and if the general didn't run the order, who would be in the wrong, him or me? That would be you, the little prince said firmly. Exact. We have to ask everyone what everyone can give, resumed the king. Authority based on reason. If you order your people to throw themselves into the sea, they would make the revolution. I have the right to require obedience because my orders are reasonable. In the end, this quote is saying that you can ask people more than they can give, you know?
Yeah.
But he's hiding that he doesn't have the power to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make a sunset for the little
I mean,
prince.
what you're saying is good, but you
Yeah,
have
the
no
little
power.
prince was like, "So you have no power," and the
Yeah.
prince, and the
Yeah.
king was like, "Oh, but I do."
Yeah.
Point of view.
If you wait until 7 p.m., you will see a sunset.
Yeah. Oh, but I do.
Yeah. So that was so fun.
Okay. See, we have the line that we just
The
read.
most quoted line from this book is actually
Yeah.
that one, and it's very impressive. But do you have
Right.
another perspective of the quote? Like, how do you interpret this line? What does it mean to you?
With that quote,
With that quote?
That
like if you have another perspective.
Yeah. What is invincible for your eyes? For your eyes.
Well, I interpreted this like the relationship that you have and you create in your life because you can have a lot of things like objects and money and a lot of things, but the most important thing that make you happy or make you feel complete, that is that person's or that relationship that you have with family, with friends, and with wherever you want to have this. Even with dogs, with animals, you create this feeling, and you can see it. You can see it, but you
And they do not talk, but they are there present. Animals are always there present.
yeah, you can live without that because you create this relationship, and for me it's like with animals, with my dogs, for example, that I feel a lot of things for that little dogs, and I can see that. And it's important to me. It's important to me because they are part important in my life, and if they happen something bad to them, I feel so bad.
okay.
And is you create you add
To create a bond, un lazo.
A minute.
you I don't know what to say. O sea, ¿cómo das tu vida con respecto a eso? O sea, esos sentimientos tú no los ves ni puedes hacer nada, o sea, los ves, pero ellos modifican tu conducta. O sea, tú actúas dependiendo de ellos. Pues.
Okay. You build your life around. Okay.
Yeah.
You
I,
build.
I actually like this book because at the first time I was like, oh, this is like the perfect excuse. Like when I see people in the street and I don't actually greet them, so if I don't have my glasses, I cannot see you. So I will say it is invisible to my eye.
Wow. Okay. Someone else?
Anyone else?
You. Okay. Don't fight. We only have one microphone. We can improve that.
Well, I think that it's something what she said about the things, the moments that are important for us, and the value of things that we give to that moments that maybe for others they perceive in another way. That's the essence of the book in the first way. But I think that this line I can interpret it different in the way that, for example, for me, in my daily routines, or what you said before about that you for example the proponents,
Okay, I hear you, girl.
Complete the sentence.
You have the
I-
commitment.
you have the commitment to accomplish something, maybe a work or something, and you just omit the all of the things that are around you that are important to you. So this quote about the only with the heart that one can see rightly, what is essential to is invisible to the eye, maybe could be maybe could be the moments with your family, the moments with your friends that are like, for example, if I'm in a course or in a activity all the days, you're gonna see that like, well, I see that person every day and it's like normal. But when you finish that moment and you don't see that person like in a constant way, you miss that moment with that person.
Yeah,
You
I
miss
think it's
that.
also like a very good reminder to us to actually be grateful for all the things that we never considered before. I actually remember that, well, my mom passed away, and it has been a complete reminder during the whole month of all the moments I had with my mother. But there are some things that just by remembering that and knowing that she's not here with me, I have been doing different. You know, like I have been paying more attention to my sister. I have been asking the questions that my mom used to ask to my dad when he was coming home. And it's like a different routine just because there was someone taking charge of all of those responsibilities
That seem to be
that
invisible.
when they are not there anymore, it's like, oh my god, but what? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and silence speak louder
Yeah.
than words.
You never see them, but when they are not, it's like something is missing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it means about the soul of the things that
Okay.
sometimes we can forget why we do things. And we are so concentrated to make things and have the best work
And be successful,
and
yeah.
be successful, and sometimes that's not exactly what I want. I just want stay in my home, watch a movie, and be happy just for a day.
Cry, drinking water,
Drink
yes.
Yeah.
and cry.
Girl, you deep.
and even be try to be happy doing things that I don't enjoy that much, because I try to do, or I try to give them a meaning for me. So
Okay.
maybe I don't have the best work now, but if I enjoy it and I try to give them a reason to be in my life, it could be different, and I'll be happy, even with things I don't accept, I don't understand. And that's why they're talking about see with the heart, because sometimes we can forget the heart and we're so
With the
Yeah.
mind, with the reason.
reasonable.
Yeah, you're too reasonable
Exactly.
and
Rational.
Exactly.
I'm like that. Yeah.
That's good because I think for example, students, university students, it happens a lot to them. It's like halfway the career and they're like, but what am I doing here? What was my purpose with studying this? Yeah, so that was actually pretty
Yeah, we
good.
have to go to the root of what you want
Yeah.
to. Like you're working very hard for something and that is good, but sometimes you have to think, okay, why am I doing this? We already talked a little bit about this. Why the little print thinks the rose is so special and unique. Actually, and what it is symbolic of. I would like to hear your opinions because I read the part of the rose and I wasn't sure about
You
what
fell
should
asleep?
what should I think, because the rose was a little bit like, yeah. You agree?
Wow. Okay, so we're set. We're on the same page.
Great.
Good,
I
good.
thought, like, is it me because I don't like this rose? I thought
She
it
was like,
me.
this girl, no, she said, I don't like her. She not my friend anymore. Ain't no fooling nobody.
She was podar. How do you say that?
You can call them all.
Okay,
Off with their
okay.
heads.
I thought it was just me. Okay.
That was good. Oh, I like you. I like y'all.
But still, he really, it was important for him. Yeah, maybe no matter how tedious you are, how hideous you are, you will find someone who cares about you. I don't know what is the meaning of the rose. Okay.
Okay, in my perspective,
Okay.
the rose was very selfish, very toxic as well, but it was also the only friend that the little prince had in his history.
He
And
didn't have
that's
a
part of
standard.
the main part of it. Like he never had a friend before, and then this rose came out of nowhere, and he started to take care of her. And as I say, it's special to him because he watered the rose and
It was
he
his
took
first.
care. It was his first friend, but also was the first thing that he could say he loved, part of his asteroid. And the rose loved the little prince too. But as they say a lot of times in the book, they were too young to know how to love. They didn't know how to show their emotions. And you can see that the rose was really sad and upset when the little prince went out of the asteroid because she didn't want him to go away. She said that she would change and he could take the scream away and she would be less selfish because she wanted him to be there with her. But again, they were too young to know how to show their real emotions.
Yeah, she was not able
No.
to be vulnerable with him.
Exactly.
And that, my friends, is how toxic relations are created.
And
Okay.
the little prince went through all of these planets looking for an answer to what happening with his rose and him.
No,
There was a lack of reciprocity. You know?
Exactly. He didn't feel a reciprocate relationship.
No, I
but
find that scene
you see
even
that the
sadder.
rose, it was not her intention to be that way. She just didn't know how to be.
She
with
needed
him.
to go to a therapist.
She needed to. That was the solution.
She needed another kind of water.
Okay. That makes me think that the scene is even sadder than I thought when he left. So
And I think that it want to shows that you choose to love and you cannot change the person or in this case the rose for who it is. You have two options. You accept them or leave them.
okay.
And sometimes we
Oh
need
my
to
God, she did. Maria is like, go, run, off with their heads.
I can change people.
No, you cannot fix anybody. Girl, no. I actually know a therapist. I can give you his number.
Okay.
Okay, now we have this question. Like, what do you think the different planets and their inhabitants represent?
Okay, I guess they are like representations of human failure. Yeah.
Oh, wow, he used the word.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
went straight to the point.
Yeah, each of them in a different way. Um, but yeah, they are just um, a picture of on how we could end up being if we just focus on those things that are not important.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, the king only focuses on ruling, uh,
On having power.
giving orders and having power.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The businessman only focus on owning things. He wants to own the whole universe. Yeah, and numbers, but even though he can make nothing with what he owns. The drunkard is like trapped because he cannot escape. He just
Yeah.
drinks, and that makes him drink more. So
Yeah.
he can escape. The lamp lighter is trapped as well because he's in a routine that don't let him rest.
that the geographer maybe he's a representation of boring work or like being trapped in an office um,
It's not personal to
with,
us. Don't worry.
without seeing himself all the beauty
Yeah.
of the world. He's only he's only yeah, he knows what the world looks like, but
He knows in theory.
he knows in theory from other people, but he
Mhm.
cannot see by himself the beauty
Yeah.
of the world.
I think there were, for me, just like examples so each one of us can see if they relate to any of them. So to see, to examine what you do, and if something about that doesn't entirely make sense. So maybe these are just examples, and he could have visited hundreds of planets, and yeah, in each of them would be someone doing something that is not quite reasonable for us.
For me, it was also like a metaphor that when we reach certain age, then all we can have is what we have at the moment. So that becomes like our ego. So we don't want to actually let it go because we don't want to take new risks. We don't want to take new chances on doing things different because this is the only way that we know how to actually do this stuff. So the businessman will continue to count all the stars because he wanted himself to do another way, and so on and so on and so on.
And like they don't want to take risks.
Yeah.
Risks.
Okay.
So they settle with what they have.
I think that when I read all this, when I want, when I write, read about all these planets and all these people, I think the writers want to create these mistakes to all the readers feel like identified with one at least. A must. For example, when I read about the drunkenness.
Are you drunk? You okay?
No, I'm not alcoholic, but in this year I feel like this man, like in this
In a third
In a cycle.
about drinking for nothing.
Oh wow.
Okay.
There's
Without
coffee.
for not feeling things, and it's so easy to become one of these mistakes. Because it's so easy. It's a really easy mistake that you can do.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
usually do.
Not
And I think they create this for the people that recognize that and
Recognize.
that
Yeah.
is bad. It's like it's a mistake, but you need to learn about this mistake and get better. Like no.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
To go to the boy.
Now I'm thinking
Do you
about
have
that.
another opinion?
But we need to understand different words about the principle reflect of the book. This essential is invisible to the eye. For the drunken man, what is the problem? What is the essential? What is the why he need to drink every day?
To avoid reality, for example.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so good.
Why is the problem? Why is the real problem for that man? What is the real problem for the king? What is the real problem? What is the problem?
Okay.
The essential is invisible to the eye.
Because
the drinker, the many people who drink, we know in that moment that that person have an emotional problem. Yeah, we need to think about that with different point of view.
Okay.
Because when you so many people, we need to think about that person, what is the essential of that person, why they say that, why the businessmen think only in business. Why?
Okay.
It's a point of view of that book that is the reason that book that written with a special way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, over there.
Behind you.
Ah, bueno, okay.
Okay. Both.
I was just going to say that to me it was very representative that they all live like in a tiny planet.
Their own world.
Yeah, their own world because in real life, metaphorically,
We are
it's-
all
we
in our
We live in our
we
own
live
world.
in our own world. In that world, we are lonely only with our, for example, or loneliness or feelings of ourselves, or addictions, or work, or
Yeah.
you know, all the things that surround us. But we are lonely in these words in this world, apart from all the rest of the people. So in a way, I think the representation of them in a tiny planet is kind of
Yeah.
meaning that.
To be with what we can actually control.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
About the war with the light ladder.
The light lighter.
Yes. When say, what are you doing? And I'm
Mhm.
doing the same sketch
Over and over.
And the planet is the planet is growing faster and faster and faster, and time is changing. And they used to follow rules, follow orders. And when the little prince asks, say, I don't understand. You don't have anything to understand. You have to orders
do the
are
work.
orders. Orders are orders. You don't have to think about the orders that you receive.
Okay.
You don't have to reflect about anything, and you can watch how the world is changing, and you can catch that, and you used to still having the same behavior and doing what all others made you order to do
Yes.
something specific. That is important because world is changing every time.
Yes.
World
Yes.
is changing every time.
I'm thinking now that you are all talking like a different theory, maybe the different characters and the different planets can be different aspects of one's life. Like you don't identify maybe with one, but with one part of it. Like the person who drinks can represent addictions. The people in the business can represent the working part of us.
The workaholic
The
people.
routine, the light lighter can represent the things that you do every day just because you don't know why you do it. You're just used to doing it. I don't know, or thinking you have control over things you don't control. So maybe I don't have all of them, but maybe
Girl,
they
you
are.
got wiser.
I'm learning.
She's
we
awake.
We are here to learn, right?
Together, we would create an average grown-up.
An average grown up, different aspects of
Oh,
an
mic
average.
drop.
Yeah, but the other important thing here, because as I don't know what our parents have comment about the life, when at the moment when the author wrote the history, and about the orders, because it was in the middle of the Second World War, and people are getting orders,
like
and we all are following orders, and doesn't have any reflection about it.
Yeah.
No. Then in that moment, talking about 1943, 1943, you have to remember then when some courts made
Yeah.
a famous court in Nürburgring,
Yeah.
the other one Nuremberg and the other ones as people ask about why did you follow that order?
Yes,
Why did you
that's
follow that
something
order? Because
we
I
have
received
heard
that.
in many.
That's it's important reflection for that and that's
Yes.
class.
Okay.
That was good.
I need to remember that that word. 90%
of the soldiers were 19-year-olds. They were basically teenagers fighting
Okay.
in a war. So following just or exactly. So there's a lot of things happening, and for me, like I said when we start talking, like everyone has a different perspective of what is this book talking about, and now we can see like how everyone
Yeah.
had a different
Eyes are
Different.
wide
You're
open.
hearing the perspective
Yeah.
of different words,
and
you know?
I'm learning different things of the book that I didn't see before because I'm listening into new perspectives. And for example, to me, the planets were just, as I said, everyone has like a different flaw for saying in that way. For example, the king wanted power, and just power, even though he didn't have a real power. The businessman was really greedy, and the geographer was just interested in serious stuff and not caring about roses and other stories, just having the map and that's it.
Yeah.
And the lamplighter was the one that was trapped in a routine, even though the little prince said that he was the only one that cared for something more than just himself because he was doing something. We don't know for whom he was doing that, but he was doing something for other person. That was not him.
Yeah.
And the drinker was an alcoholic that wanted to forget, like I thought a really relatable situation, like
Okay.
drinking to forget, and that's it. But
Yeah,
for
but
instance,
addictions
like,
are like that. So.
and but now saying that what the other cousin said that if you put together all the planets, they represent basically a person, like an average grown-up. And
Yeah.
we have to avoid turning into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a
Reflecting in
very
each
good
part.
reminders to to us all that we are flawed. Basically, it's also pretty to know that,
No.
but not in a good way. But guys, thank you so much for participating, for reading the book, for being here today, for connecting online with us. We are very excited. This was just the pilot. This is the first time that we do this in the CBA history. So we are very excited to continue, and for that reason we
You
have
have a
brought
job.
to you
Homework to you.
yeah, we
No,
now give you the
no.
homework
It's work for
right
doing
now.
here.
We need like a show of hands. These are the options that we have for
Yeah.
you to read next month. The first one is The Old Man and the Sea. It's a classic. It's also very short. The second one is Frankenstein. And the third one is And Then They Were Not by Agatha Christie. It's also very known as Diez Negritos in Spanish. So you can see like a brief
Yeah,
description.
you can
Um,
think about it for the next 5 seconds. Eh,
no pressure though.
Yes, we have these options. Frankenstein is a classic. It was written over 100 years ago, so I don't know if it's a little bit difficult to read, but most of you have a good level in English, and for the rest, we are willing to take challenges, right?
Of reflections in the right. So I think it's what would be difficult because the history is hard. It's hard
Okay.
to which one?
Frankenstein. She's just read Frankenstein.
I just read Frankenstein.
It will be available on the library, but we
can
need to
make
make a
it
decision
happen.
before making available for you all.
Yeah, the old man.
We are trying to seek both ways.
I put it in the part like what book we want to
Yeah.
read, and I love that book, but I have to be honest, and
It is
it's
difficult.
It's a difficult
Yeah.
book because
If we can try to find.
flow and have a lot of reflection. I read it in Spanish.
Yeah, I just read The Old Man and the Sea. That is in the audiobook, but it's in Spanish there, so we have to find it in English. This one is kind of easy to read because the story is very simple. This is a novela, which means it's a little bit shorter. It's not a huge book. It's actually a very small book. It's kind of interesting. If we choose.
It's a philosophical point of view of the life.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we choose a long one, like the next two, the last two, probably we would make it in two parts.
Yeah, we will
Because-
have two meetings. Maybe it will depend.
Yes,
We will
because
see how
those
things
are
go.
long books.
But these are
But
the
we
options.
want to listen to your opinion just to know. Have you ever read the one of Agatha Christie? Because Agatha Christie
But it's a thriller, so
long ago. Yeah, because I remember the novels were with the news.
I read a lot of books of Agatha Christie, but not
That one. You missed that one.
this could be your first time.
And it's
Okay.
not so long, actually.
No,
Okay.
I don't remember.
I just
but like
remember that the
2000
books were given with the
200.
news
Sorry,
like 10
my
years
bad.
ago. So we had the collection and they were very small books. Huh? In Nacional. I don't remember the news. Yeah. They used to give you books and gifts when you buy the news. But that was a long time ago, so you probably don't
A
remember.
very long time ago. What did you
Yeah.
say that out loud? Wow.
But it is true. It is true. I have a CD that came in the news.
I wasn't born.
You were. Actually, you were. But
I
okay.
wasn't. Okay, so in a showing of hands, who bows to the old man and the sea?
I already read it, so I'm
Okay,
gonna say yes
we
because
have
I already
two
read
people.
it.
Okay, three.
Okay.
Okay. What about Frankenstein?
Okay.
Okay.
Two people.
And then there were none. Okay, majority. It's
And there were. and then
there's
there were
also a TV show and a movie, a very old movie. So maybe we could
okay.
even try to put on the movie on
Ah,
display
I
or
can see.
something. We could figure it out.
I can see the movie. How good.
We will have it available for you all, but later on the week because we need to like put it on the
Organize
register,
everything.
and we will send you an email, and it will be basically the
And
same.
hopefully we can find the audiobook. I don't know if we get the audiobook. Remember that sometimes we don't have lots of copies. Like for example, The Little Prince could only be read by 3 people at the time. So if you listen to it, you listen and then you give it back.
Yeah, like an actual library.
Yes,
Basically, just
because
online.
they give you 14 days, but if we don't have many of them available, it is nice to hear it and give it back. So
Yeah, but also there's a Telegram group, and over there I will send you the PDF version that I can find, and if they're out, she's judging me. She has the nerve. Okay, but also I will find the audiobook version that goes in more signed with the version that is in the library,
Yeah.
just to send it to you so you
just
can
for the
also
days
have
you
it over
cannot
there.
sleep. Okay.
But yeah, that's all. Thank you guys so much for coming. There's still coffee over there with Tuki. There's some mascot Tuki over there. So yeah, let's hang. Let's meet each other. Gracias, Rosa.
Gracias.
A ustedes, chicos.
Maybe like in about a month.
In a
We
month.
don't have to date, but we will let you know. Yes.
Close related to your chair. And
Maybe. This is very demure, very the little prince, very mindful.
But it's not just one role. It's
I am the garden.
He's the
I am the
garden.
garden.
He's the garden.